Coming up in this week's episode.
Have you never had are you talking actual shrimps?
Yeah.
You've never had a shrimp?
No.
Why?
Well, it's because it's a shrimp, isn't it?
I've
I've had a banana.
I'm a genuine shock.
That's given me a flashback of when I was about 7 or 8, and we were writing that. Me and a bunch of my mates, Christ, that sounds sad, were going and writing number plates down. What the fuck was that about? I mean, there's got to be 10 million even in the 80s. I'm like that. I got one. 174376K. Like, what?
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
Yes. So now we've talked this last episode and this episode is all about things to occupy yourself, hobbies and different things you used to do. And I've got to be honest with you, I think I've got a problem. But I'll get you to look at it after the show. I like to collect things.
Yeah, really?
And I do think
you surprised me, James.
I do think that kids more in our childhood would collect things more.
Yes.
Rubbers, key rings, badges, pencils. I don't think they do it now.
Again, because now kids have got stuff to do with their thumbs,
fingers.
Yeah.
But now I've got a few bits here, a badge, but I've got some rubbers. But I want to show you this one
for
first.
Our American friends, erasers.
Yeah. I'm going to show you this. I don't think we should show it or properly talk about it. But I'm going to show you this rubber that is an original. Which is so we're not going to go onto it about. But needless to say, it's a Robertson's jam.
Robertson's jam thing, yeah.
So
we can't, James. We can't
even show it.
Can't even show it.
So I don't collect these.
We can't show it. We can't say what it is.
Well, it's a Robertson's fun eraser.
Yes,
with
a well-known character.
Yeah,
and we can't show it. No.
James Robertson and Sons, preserve manufacturers, and it's a fun eraser. I think it. But they used to smell. Do you remember smelly rubbers?
Yeah, I do remember.
A smell of strawberry or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, apart from that, have a little look because there's lots of different 80s rubbers and badges in there, of all sorts of different brands and different types. Care Bear badge, yeah, we've got Care Bear badge.
Jelly Tots. I'm a Jelly Tots Sentry. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Jelly Tots Sweetie badge.
Postman Pat with
the googly eyes on.
Lifeboat eraser. Yeah.
I mean, if your rubber collection, Danger Mouse, so we've would be,
you'd have one, literally one for everything you want.
Yeah, there was I remember people being proud of their collections in their pencil cases of the different rubbers, and they wouldn't use them really. But if you had a different type of eraser or rubber, it was quite cool and trendy. There's one. We can't show that one. But you got Rubik's Cube in there, I think.
There's even an eraser clothes peg, which will come in useful, I would have thought. Yeah.
Yes. So these were just things that people would bring you back.
Who doesn't need a rubber spanner?
Yeah. You would go on a trip out, a boring trip with your family, and they would have this in the gift shop. That's piles, obviously. It's a bunch of grapes, I think. I don't know what that is. But yeah.
And a little
Octopusy thing. Yeah. Is there a Rubik's Cube in there? I think there is.
I don't see
Bottom
that,
left.
James. Oh, yes.
Rubik's Cube, see?
Yeah.
Very 80s, 2010.
It doesn't actually smell of rubber.
No, the rubbers did used to smell quite a lot, didn't they?
Yeah.
But you would also get flavoured ones and different strawberry and lemons,
I remember the sort of strawberry ones. Yeah.
What else have we got in here? I think there is a lemon one, but no. Oh, and there's one with a little bell on it. Obviously, the badges. I'm with the Woolwich. I love the 80s, and I've joined the Weetabix Club because we all join stuff.
Yeah, we were all part of a club, and you'd have to write off to join, wouldn't you? You'd have to write off. You'd have to send a self.
You don't just like it on a page of Facebook.
You'd write off. You'd send a postcard and a self-stamped addressed envelope, and then they would send you something back.
I joined the Intercity Railway club or something, or rail intercity railway.
Patron Jimmy Savile.
But do you remember those trains with the sloped front? They were like the future, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they had their own fan club, and I was one of them.
Well, train spotting was, of course, was a big thing, wasn't it?
You'd go out and spot
remember
some
the
trains.
kids at school would go mad for train spotting, and I still can't understand it, but I know people love it.
Yeah.
So I'm not dissing it at all, but they would get their little books with numbers, and they would tick off it's kind of like train bingo, I suppose, isn't it? You're just collecting. You're collecting.
Train bingo.
You're just collecting. I'm sorry, I disparaged all the train spotters now, but you are just collecting. You're just ticking off
all the
numbers,
ones,
aren't you? Yeah.
Just one train.
I wonder if the people who if anybody's ever looked into it, if the people who like train spotting also make good accountants with that attention to detail for numbers.
Yeah, maybe.
I reckon they would. Yeah,
I think you're right. Both very interesting people. Yes, I think. It's a good point actually, because bird spotting, train spotting, I Spy books.
Yes,
people would go out and do all that sort of shit.
But again, with the I Spy books, they were made for car journeys more than anything.
Yeah,
because again, kids had nothing to do with their thumbs, apart from argue. But on the back seat over who's got their
armrest
elbow
or
on the armrest, and just the amount of sheer proper scraps that would occur on that back seat. And you would just say to one, right, get in the back. So one of you just get in the back, and that's it. So you're not
on the roof rack.
You're not touching each other. You're walking.
I think there was a few times where I've heard not in our generation, but generation before, where kids would have to get out of the car because they were doing something like going uphill or going across a rickety bridge where it couldn't have them in the car. The old Hayling Island bridge used to be made of wood, and a mate of mine who's in his 70s now, mid to late 70s, he said that they all used to have to get off the school bus when it went across the bridge because the bridge couldn't take the bus and the kids in. So the bus had to go over first, and then the kids all walked across afterwards.
Can you imagine?
Like, Jesus Christ, can you imagine days like that? That would have been great fun. Delay you getting to school. But all these different activities to keep you occupied. But yeah, backs of cars was a classic one, wasn't it? Crosswords and word searches and all those sorts of things.
There was no electronics. There was nothing whatsoever electronic in the back of any car.
Certainly not in the early 80s.
No.
But then
I suppose you might have your little things. But
we've done the handheld stuff, haven't we? But that was more mid 80s onwards, really.
But it was paper stuff. It was literally, see if you can spot a white car. Tick.
Yes. That's given me a flashback of when I was about 7 or 8, and we were writing that. Me and a bunch of my mates. Christ, that sounds sad. Were going and writing number plates down. What the fuck was that about? I mean, there's got to be 10 million even in the 80s. I'm like that. I got one 174-376K. Like, what? It's just a number. Oh, what a saddo.
Well, boys, there's no difference. I suppose there's more cars than trains.
Yeah.
But you got to, I suppose with trains in this country, you could conceivably complete it, couldn't you? You could,
I guess,
conceivably have every number.
I guess.
Whereas with cars, because there are so many.
Can you imagine? I got that one. Have you? It's a car? Yeah. Saw it in Birmingham. You haven't, mate. Have you done that? I'll get about. I've got this, and this is mint. Well, not mint, but very
sealed.
Near to it. Sealed from the 80s. 1983, George Lucas. Glow in the Dark. Millennium Falcon, Darth Vader, C-3PO, Return of the Jedi. Not recommended for children 3 and under. Not that you buy it for smell. But yeah, no, don't take those out. But yes, it's a very rare little item. I love the ones where you just not the sort of thing that people would have bought really. But rubbers, someone collecting rubbers, that would have been bloody brilliant. I would have been about an 8 or 9.
It would have been affordable, wouldn't it? You want something.
Would have been a stocking filler, maybe.
Yeah.
Something, but just a nice Return of the Jedi. Erasers written at the bottom of the
just in case you didn't know. Yeah. Made in Hong Kong.
Why not?
Nothing has changed.
It's the future. I think collecting things was a good way of if you weren't going to clubs, if you weren't going out and about and doing extracurricular stuff with school. Collections.
Collect things.
I mean, play on your computer maybe if you had one. Maybe even scroll through CFAX, play was it called, Bamboozled or Balderdash? I never get it right, but one of them. Or just collect rubbers and key rings.
What about collecting and making at the same time, James?
Oh, Mo.
Check this out.
Go on.
It only takes a pair of tiny hands to create a monster with an Airfix kit. Slightly larger hands are needed to build a tank. And a feminine hand helps to recreate Anne Boleyn. An old hand enjoys putting the Golden Hind together. A very steady hand steers Concorde. There are over 400 great Airfix kits, and all they need is a hand.
400 kits.
39p they started off at, to £8.65. But the thing is, they aimed at literally everybody, didn't they? They aimed at boys, girls, granddads to do the old hinds and things, old hands, young hands,
feminine hands
to do the Anne Boleyn. Obviously, you don't have a boy. It's ridiculous, James.
No
boy is ever going to paint Anne Boleyn.
But that was quite open-minded of them to say feminine hands, wasn't it? Not ladies' hands.
I suppose
They're saying it could be someone with delicate hands.
It could be,
wants to make Anne Boleyn. I'm surprised they didn't go any woofters who want to do Anne Boleyn if you've got woofter hands. But yeah, feminine hands, delicate hands. It's nice. 400 kits though surprises me. I'm surprised they didn't have more than that, because Airfix was a big thing, wasn't it, in the 80s?
It was,
doing a bloody Airfix of some kind. I always liked putting them together. Ended up gluing my fingers to it, but once I prized my fingers off of it, I like gluing them together, but I'm not going to bloody paint it.
No, he's going to paint it.
Oh, crap, that's how I cock it.
And I to be honest, as you probably gathered from these weeks, I'm not the world's most patient person.
No, that's right.
But you always have to break the little bits of plastic off, didn't you? You have to break them off.
Random lumps.
And then you'd have to file away the little bits. And nobody's got time in their busy lives for that, James.
Well, no, not now. Back then, they were perfect, weren't they? They were all perfect. Everyone's borrowing their mum's nail file to file down those little edges.
Those little tiny pots of paint, like a big person's tin of paint.
Yeah, but tiny.
But teeny tiny.
And you had to prise it open, and they would never just go boop, and you put them down. They go boom, and land at somewhere. And you go and on your leg or on the desk next to your Commodore 64, and the tiniest little brush to paint detail, and with your shaky hand, and then you wouldn't remember to rinse that brush off, and you couldn't find the lid, and then you've got this random pot, and then a solid brush, and you didn't know what to do then. And that's why Airfix never worked for me.
It was just, again, I think you had to be a particular kind of person. I'm not disparaging people who did Airfix kits, but you had to be
a train spotter.
You had to be somebody who was patient. You had to be somebody who cared about details. And I was none of the above.
No, me neither. I think if you can wait for a train for 48 minutes to write it down in your book, you could probably make a Airfix.
Says the man who collected fucking number plates.
Hey! You don't have to wait long for a car, mate. But got another one. I can't write as quick. Yes, yeah. That is sad. I can't believe it, and I think I've still got those notebooks somewhere. But yes, it's double plates. Collecting them before I found out about girls. Yes, I tried to collect them.
It all changes. James, I think we've got a mystery sound coming up.
You're never
here,
sure,
but you're never quite sure.
No.
But I think it could be one.
You never know. You got it.
Aha! Puzzled look on James's face.
I think that's the sound of something dragging itself up your hallway when you're scared in your room as a kid in the 80s. Like,
Doctor Who kind of thing, possibly.
Yes. Okay. All right.
We'll find out in about 10 minutes or so. Give or take.
Yeah.
But it won't be long for now.
Okay.
Shall we have a little clip in the meantime?
Just lay the track for a horn be set and it all happens. Look at that, just in time, Hornby's there on the line. Oh, nothing goes like it, nothing grows like it, Hornby. Nothing goes like it, nothing grows like it, Hornby. You have some fun with a Hornby set, watching it happen. Oh, be quick, just in time, Hornby's there on the line. Oh, nothing goes like it, nothing grows like it, Hornby. Nothing goes like it, nothing grows like it, Hornby.
Landscape's not included, mate. Don't get fancy ideas.
Now, what they were doing there, James, was they were selling the dream there, weren't they? Because I remember having a little Hornby kit, and it had one tunnel, and it might have had 2 little trees, possibly.
Did you have a platform?
And that was there was a platform, yes,
with the little
and
platform.
And I think there was a little level crossing thing.
Okay,
but that was it. There was no mountains.
No,
there was no
landscapes.
No landscapes.
Well, they're not included. You didn't see the advert, mate. So if you were disappointed, it's your own fault, really, not reading the terms and conditions. The weird thing was that kids had them, basic, like you just explained, but a 47-year-old man had the best collection.
Everything, yes.
And he would like you to go and look at them. No. No, I mean, my uncle loved trains. Collected all sorts of trains over the years. Not trains, but spiff paraphernalia. And he had a massive train set with everything like that. And always very envious. But I would never have the bloody patience. Like an Airfix kit, I'm never going to build any of that. I could barely get the patience together to put the track together to make the bloody thing run. Like Scale Electrics, put it all together. Once he's come off the track a couple of times,
you can't be bothered,
fuck it, turn the telly on. Just see what's on. Nothing. Pebble Mill at 1. Brilliant.
CFAX.
Yeah, that's all it would be. Yeah. It's, I mean, again, stuff to build, stuff to make, things to play. Some kids were well into it.
But I suppose it's interesting that with the Airfix, again, that was appealing, because I remember one of my old father-in-laws used to make model airplanes and things, and that would do all the little painty bits. It wasn't Airfix and that, but it would do all that kind of stuff. But again, there was it was almost like they were sucking you in as kids, if you pardon the expression, to start with the 39p kits. And then before you knew it, you were doing the Golden Hind with Airfix, and with the trains as kids, they'd suck you in with the one tunnel and the 2 little trees. But that 48-year-old man with his thing up in his attic, like bloody Rod Stewart has got I think it's Rod Stewart, has got a huge collection. But of course he's got, what you saw on there would have cost many tens of thousands of pounds to do that. So maybe you've got to aspire to be a millionaire before you can do that.
Maybe that's it. The irony is, I think, to have the money to be able to do what you want with these things, you need no kids. The minute you've got kids, you can never afford to do this stuff. So you end up with the man who's probably an accountant, spotting trains in the daytime, is in the evening, has got a massive train set that he's building, or she, in his cellar or loft, either of those. And and the kids, he's got a massive cellar with trains around it.
Come on down.
We're all going to go and have a look. And bless him.
Worked for Michael Jackson, didn't it?
Yes, he had a train.
He had everything. He had a fun fair, didn't he?
He had everything going on. Nothing ever bad happened there.
Nothing ever happened. No,
it's fine.
Just goes to show, for legal reasons, that everything can be very innocent.
Everything can be, and usually is.
And definitely was.
Yeah, always.
Definitely was. Yes.
Would you like to have a little look in my lunchbox?
Let's have a little look in your lunchbox then, James.
I think I've got something.
It's always surprising.
Thank you.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
Now, I was never really a sweetie person. I was always chocolate. Hard to believe, I know. After carrots and apples and bananas, I like chocolate. But these sweets seem to always crop up. And I saw them and I thought, yes, there were quite a few of these about. Let's have a little try of, what are they, shrimps and bananas?
And shrimps.
Yeah.
That's that well-known combo.
Yeah, they go together like everything, like Abbott and Costello. And
like chalk and coal.
That's it. My wife bloody loves sweets. She's not bothered about chocolate, which is just as well, because I bloody eat it all. But these, I always remember them being like a spongy, unnatural texture. But I'm just wondering if they're still doing... I'll have one of each. You have a banana one, mate. I don't know if they tasted banana. First of all...
It tasted that sort of banana.
I'm getting the smell.
Yeah. Texture, I'd say...
Yeah. Not the same size, though.
And the guys always say our mouths were smaller than James.
True. That tastes identical, but not the same shape. But this is not the same shape either. But what's that meant to taste of?
The reason why it tastes good is because the first 3 ingredients
Acid?
Oh, different kinds of sugar. You got your sugar.
Yes.
Followed by
Tick.
your glucose syrup.
Tick.
Followed by your dextrose.
Oh, they got the 3 ingredients.
Followed by beef gelatin.
I tell you what, if they put a bit more beef in real bananas, I'd probably be healthier. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're nice. What does the shrimps taste of, though?
I think they all taste the same.
Oh, do they? Because that tastes like banana to me, but the
They
shrimp
all
tastes
say-
a bit sweeter. No? Yeah.
Oh, you could be right.
That's definitely banana. The shrimp ones seem to have a sweeter end to it. I've never had a shrimp. Have you?
Never.
No. No, and the real one, I mean.
What, a real shrimp?
Have you eaten a shrimp before? A real shrimp? No? Have you had a shrimp? Have you eaten a shrimp?
How old are you, James?
Lovely.
Have you never had are you talking actual shrimps?
Yeah.
You've never had a shrimp?
No.
Why?
Well, it's because it's a shrimp, isn't it?
I've
I've had a banana.
I'm a genuine shock.
I thought you thought it was a trick question. Does it taste of a shrimp?
No.
But it tastes of a banana. Even I know that, and I'm not a frequenter of the
But
banana.
enough of all that, James. Why have you never had a shrimp?
Aren't they the bottom dwellers of the sea? I'm not really one fan of cleaning up animals. No, I don't really. No,
You don't. You just
Would you
not.
get
don't
like
fancy
in a shrimp cocktail or something?
Yeah.
No, not for me. I'm not a big seafood person.
I could tell.
Thanks. I haven't had a shrimp. I don't mind the old cockle and mussel. No, I did have them when I was younger. Get them in little
Same
punnets.
sort of things.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Similar things.
Yeah, I mean, it's pointless, isn't it?
Oh, but you can't have a day at the seaside without shrimps and cockles and
Really? Speedos.
speedos.
That's the 80s for you.
Speaking of speedos, by the way, of course, we on our Bring Back the 80s live podcast,
We'll be wearing them.
Summer Special, we will be wearing budgie smugglers.
Yep. Yeah. The ladies have insisted. But people have said, I will come if
Only.
you do. No.
Yeah.
What? If you wear your Speedos,
I'll
we'll
come.
buy front row tickets. I said, I can't. You might end up seeing my cockles and muscles. But yeah, I mean, the summers of the 80s, we all look back and go, oh, there's no seasons anymore. There are, because it's lovely and gorgeous at the minute, and it's the springtime. But for some reason, we look back with rose-tinted spectacles, and 80s summers were brilliant, and that's what this is all going to be about.
It's going to be parasols on the beach.
Yeah, oh God, yes.
It's going to be
Windbreakers.
yeah, maybe a little roller cola.
Bucket and spade. Yeah, bucket and spade, and you just 99s.
Yeah.
Everyone says, oh, they're 99s because they're 99p. They definitely bloody weren't. That would have been
Even
expensive
then,
in the 80s, 99p. It would have been, 30p or something.
Why were they? I don't think they were ever 30p, James.
They were.
Perhaps in Victorian times.
No. You could get an ice cream with a flake in for pence. It wouldn't have been £6 like they are now. Or
If you
whatever.
were an ice cream vendor, please let us know how
Come
much.
to the show.
Come to the show, yes.
Give us all the 99.
Spring Arts Centre in Havant in the summer on a Saturday night as well.
It's going to be lovely. We're going to have some ice creams and lollies. We'll have all sorts of memories floating about. Even just people taking photos, but they take one photo a day out. Do you remember those days? One photo.
Yeah. You don't want to waste the film.
You can't bloody turn around. It's like a flicker book of action now if you go out somewhere. It's like, God, I've got 7,000 photos. But yeah, trip out to the beach, but even just sat in your garden. You just sit in your garden, paddling pool.
Paddling pool. You can't go wrong with a paddling pool in your
Sit in
garden.
it, yeah. And your parents would be sat under their parasol with the tassels, and they'd be having a cup of tea, probably, because it's hot, and that's what you have to have when it's hot.
That
Warm
first
drink.
day of the paddling pool was always good because it was always appealing and nice.
Nice.
By the time it had been out there for 3 weeks,
Mildew on it, yeah.
it was not
Yeah,
good.
the
Nobody
dog
was going
weed
in
in it.
that. Yeah.
We didn't even have a dog. Yeah, it was always a struggle to sit out in our garden because I lived on the 3rd story of a council flat.
Quite difficult, James.
Tricky,
Yes, quite
tricky.
difficult. Do you have a balcony or anything?
Yeah, but the swing was dangerous. Yeah, I had a slide, went down to floor 2. But yeah, it was. We had a nice view of Portsdown Hill. on the
Oh, it's
balcony.
nice, yeah,
I used to
yeah.
sunbathe on the balcony. Very tricky when the sun's not on your side of the flat. I had to wait till 3 p.m. before I could get a suntan.
Oh, you get a nice bit of afternoon sun though. That's
Yeah, it
good,
wasn't too raw, but that was the other thing. Summers, we're going to have to paint ourselves bright red for this show.
100%. Yeah.
Because summer wasn't a summer in the 80s unless you did
Without
have
sunburn.
third degree
Yeah.
burns. Yeah.
Next day we go to school, everybody's slapping you on the back.
Yeah. And you have a nice mark where you wore your vest.
Yes.
You had to have a vest. Always walked around in a vest.
Yes.
Just to protect yourself from the sun. And blistering on the shoulders, of course.
Vests are not a thing anymore.
Are they? My wife insists on me wearing one. String vest, that's me. And me suspenders. Not suspenders. Socks. But yes. Yeah, no, but you see them every now and again, don't you? People wearing vests.
Only on old men.
Yeah. Well, aren't we wearing them? But yeah, maybe we'll come out in vests and Speedos.
String vests.
Yes. But what they didn't have is bloody Crocs and sliders. Everyone wore socks and sandals. That was the 80s, wasn't it? So maybe we should wear Speedo. We've got the look sorted, haven't we? Vest, Speedo, socks and sandals. Ladies, if you're not buying tickets now, check your pulse.
And a knotted handkerchief.
Yes, yeah, God, what a cliche. But it was. And you go down, but you seem to go down, these days, if I go to the beach with my boys, we're down there for maybe hour and a half, and then we're wrapping it up and coming back.
Yeah, how could you possibly spend a whole day?
We used to, though, didn't we?
Yeah,
First thing in the morning, pack up the car, go there somewhere at the arse end of nowhere, and then when the sun was setting, pack the car back up. What did we do?
All day.
Digging a hole.
Just get sunburned.
Dig a hole, get sunburned. Flicking stones at a can in the stones. And
throwing stones, skimming stones, that was it. So, hours of fun.
And there'd be some sort of converted shed that had a few arcades in it. Get a 99 ice cream from the local ice cream. I came across an old Y-Reg ice cream van down at Southsea Beach.
I saw the photo on your
it had
socials.
an original flake advert that was faded and peeling off in the window. Lovely time. But good days, summer days, and hopefully we'll have more sunshine coming up. But,
it just reminded me of an idea that my son has had for a prank to play on ice cream vendors.
Yeah.
You know, on the back they always say they have a thing that says "Mind that child."
Yes.
He has thought about getting stickers made that you would surreptitiously put on the back of those. Instead of saying "Mind that child," it says "Mind that sexy child."
Okay.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon to that, James?
Well, it might get the driver in trouble, I suppose. Yes.
Can you think of anything more inappropriate?
Wow.
Mind that
Crikey.
sexy child. I just say, by the way, I've just realised that we're going to have to bleep out the bloody subtitles for Facebook and YouTube and everything.
Well, it says stuff like that.
It says stuff like that.
Oh, no.
Even though it's being ironic.
Of course it is. They used to have slow children on the back of them, didn't they? On the back of the old 80s runs. It's like, they're not. They're very bright. They've worked out the change he needs back from his ice cream and everything. Yeah, bless him. Yeah, I used to have to chase my ice cream van because I was on the third floor.
Of course,
because by the time I heard him and got down, he'd on to the next bloody block.
What do you mean by the time you heard him? When you heard him, James, it means they've run out.
Yeah, that's the story. It used to echo around the estate because obviously he's driving around and I'm up 40 feet off the ground and I can hear it thinking, where is it? Trying to locate it, you know, like when you're trying to find a shitting cat. And it's just like, where is it? I can hear him. What room's he in?
Never in my 61 years, James, have I ever thought I need to find that shitting cat. Never.
You've never heard an ill cat in your house or a puking one when they're moonwalking backwards going blah, 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 blah. And you're like, where is it? So yes, that's what the ice cream van was like for me. A lovely shitting cat, but just chasing it around trying to find the bloody thing. But it would have been handy these days, but I didn't have to worry about my weight back then. But so keeping yourself occupied in the 80s is what we're talking about. That was part of my keeping me occupied. 40 minutes of chasing the ice cream van around the estate trying to bloody find which turning he'd made as the
I suppose that's the way. That's why people were not fat then in those days, because you'd burn off the calories on the way to the ice cream van,
running about.
So if maybe that should be a thing they should do now. It would be before you're allowed to take the ice cream, you have to run around the ice cream van a couple of times, or
don't let the van stop. It never comes to a standstill. It just keeps moving. The kids are like, hey mister, can I have a screwball? Hey, and he goes into second gear. You just and he slows down again. It's just like some sort of park run.
Well, he can't stop now because all those angry dads will lynch him because he's got that sign on the back that says "My that sexy child."
Yeah, he could do.
That'd be the way. It's all coming together. I
always remember the ice cream vans had like Disney characters on and stuff.
Yes.
And you just like, I don't think this is licensed from Disney, is it? I don't think Barry from the High Street has actually got a license to use Mickey Mouse on the front of his thing. But yeah, anything to attract the kids.
It's so funny that you don't need a license to put any character whatsoever on an ice cream van or on a fairground ride.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's no licensing required for that. It must be in the terms and conditions of Disney.
I wonder if many Disney executives are walking around the streets of Lee Park trying to find an ice cream van or going on a waltzer in Southsea. Probably not. Probably safe. But yeah, that's how our times were filled. Collecting badges on computers. We're going to the Cubs and we're chasing ice cream vans.
Let's do this.
It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
Bloody knew it. What's he writing? What's she writing?
A.
Put the chalk there.
S.
Oh, great. Good. I did think it was that, but you didn't give me a chance to. But that's one of those things, isn't it? Chalkboards.
There was 2 clips I was going to do. I could have done that clip,
yeah,
or the nails down the chalk.
No.
And I thought either I can't bring myself, even though I know it's coming.
No,
to
we had
do
a few
that.
complaints then, wouldn't we? More than usual.
I think, James, with all that sexy child stuff going on today, I think the complaints will be coming in thick and fast.
Oh, no.
Don't you worry about that, James.
No. I think the one thing you want to remember is that woman out of the Flake advert, whilst watching kids queue for a 99. That's the combo, isn't it? They try. That woman in the advert was on the back of that ice cream van with a sexy lady.
Yes.
In a bikini.
Yes.
With kids queuing up getting their ice cream.
Yes.
Who's got I have a 99 please? William's little 6-year-old boy. Why? Because of the advert with a sexy lady on it. It was just a strange little thing to combine the two. But hey, it worked.
That was to get the dads in.
Dads were paying. I'll go and pay because I'm looking at the picture of the Flake lady. Oh my goodness.
On that happy note, James,
Yes.
look at this 31 minutes episode today.
Oh well, we charge extra for this one, do we?
I think an extra couple of quid on there, yes. Speaking of charging extra, a bargain at £15 if you want to come and see us live. 15 quid,
made a mistake,
James.
I think.
15 quid is nothing for a brilliant night out on a Saturday night. Spring Arts in Havant. If you want to come and see this, James will be wearing the Speedos. I'll be wearing the string vest. We will both have knotted handkerchiefs on for
socks and sandals.
Summer scissor.
It's in June, and you just Google it. Spring Arts Centre. Bring Back the 80s.
Or go to bringbacktheatiespodcast.com.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
See you next Tuesday.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app. And don't forget, there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.